Welcome back to Car Talks, where I rant, ramble, rabble, and word vomit and get really distracted, I guess, on my thoughts on fitness training and kind of just life in general sometimes. Think about squatting, the movement pattern, right? I think a lot of people think it's an exercise. Squat's really a movement pattern. When I think about squatting, I think two major things. One, we're really looking for high amounts of knee flexion and hip flexion simultaneously. And if you really want to also add it in there, ankle dorsiflexion, we can add that in there as well. But I think a lot of people get caught up on squats. When you say squat, they automatically think a back squat. I think it can be extrapolated out to be more of a movement pattern thing, right? If we stop looking at squatting as a movement or an exercise, but think of it as a pattern, kind of like a gait cycle is the ambulation, leg, arms, cross body movement, and really looking at how we can then program that, right? A lateral lunge out to the side moves in the frontal plane. That can also be considered a squat pattern, right? A split squat is a split squat for a reason, right? That is a single leg squat. A skater squat, a squat to a boxer, a pistol squat. All these things are squatting movement patterns, right? I think everybody tries to make these assumptions, or they try to make these statements that a certain exercise, like the squat is the king of all lifts, and it's like maybe the squat's the king of all patterns, but I don't know that necessarily there's a single squatting variation that is the king of all. Same thing, people say a trap bar deadlift might be the king of all lifts. So it's like, well, I think it really comes down to what is going to be good for an individual. I think people get so caught up on just back squatting. It's like, for some people that just might not be it. I have some adults. It really just, anything other than a goblet squat really isn't super great for them. I have one adult client who the best bang for her buck is honestly a rear foot elevated split squat. And that is the most comfortable variation that she can do, and also the one that she's the strongest at. She can load it up just about as heavy as she can load up a goblet squat. So you know what? I think people, if you can stop thinking about squatting as an exercise and start thinking about it as a movement pattern, we unlock a lot of potential and a lot of options for results, and also just for better individualized training, just as a whole for whoever you're training. So that's my thoughts on squatting for the day. We'll be back next time with whatever random thoughts I got.